All right, so we're gonna jump into something serious. So I want to bring up Whitney Webb first. First of all, introduce you to Whitney Webb if you don't know about her. I got introduced to her by watching the Tim Dillon show. She's been on Tim Dillon show a few times. She is a journalist, researcher, writer. She was on Patreon, but she has been since I first found out about her. I think last year, since 2020, she has been censored. So Patreon basically made her remove herself from their platform. It's hard to find her on YouTube. She can be found on YouTube, but she's like they really are like they put her at the bottom of the list for sure. But anyways, Winnie Webb I feel like is like a national treasure. She like reports just straight facts. She's kind of like she reminds me of like Alex Jones without all of the dramatics. But yeah, I just want to introduce you to her. But we're basically gonna talk about one of these articles that she put. I would definitely suggest checking her out. Her website is called The Unlimited Hangout, and she posts all of her work on there. And she also posts links so you can support her. Go ahead and check that out. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about one of the articles she wrote back in April. So, Paul, go ahead and pull it up.
All right. Let's read the first one.
What's the title, real quick?
The title: Military bases housing migrant children plagued by serial sexual abuse claims.
Okay, let's get into it.
All right. Currently, unaccompanied minors are being housed at 2 military bases in Texas and 1 in California. While there was immediate coverage of the decision to house children and teens at these bases, there was little journalistic interest in looking deeper into issues at these particular bases, some of which are known to have extremely unsanitary conditions or for allowing serial rapists to serve on base for years despite numerous reports about their crimes to base leadership. One of these bases has the highest rate of sexual assaults of any joint base in the entire Department of Defense. Not only that, but the U.S. military's computer network has consistently ranked among the top internet service providers for the trafficking of child pornography.
Oh, hell no.
Further underscoring why military bases, particularly these military bases, are unsuitable for children.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard. I know it was covered at nauseum when Trump was in office. You know, every time you turn on the news, we're always talking about Trump. One of the things that they like to torch him with or gaslight him with was the fact that he was keeping kids in cages, right? But then, if you don't know, if you didn't hear about that, so obviously Trump was famous for saying stuff like, "Oh, build the wall," things like that. So he got blamed for those cages, but in fact, Obama's administration was the one who started with the cages. So those cages were actually put up by the Obama administration, but the media had nothing to gain from covering that, so they never covered it until Trump was in office, basically to throw dirt in his name.
Yeah, his reputation.
So, but those cages were actually built by the Obama administration first and foremost. Just wanted to say that.
It spanned across now 3 presidencies, right?
Yeah, so this is the 3rd administration, and so basically this article is about migrant facilities that are being housed at military bases. So there are 3 military bases that are going to be talked about in this article, 2 in Texas and 1 in California. Basically, what he just said right now is that the 2 in Texas have the highest claims of sexual assault in any of the military bases in the country, and this is where the unaccompanied minors are being housed at. So those are the ones in Texas, and then the one in California isn't necessarily prevalent with
sexual abuse,
but is very contaminated and polluted.
Has unsanitary conditions.
Yeah, and they're being held in tents. So these tents can house up to 1,000 people in them, and they're all held outside. So go ahead and read what's going on at the Texas facilities.
In 2017, a Pentagon study found that Joint Base San Antonio had the highest rate of sexual assault reports of all the Joint Base installations in the Department of Defense, registering 881 cases from 2013 to 2017.
Wait, what? How many?
881.
In a year?
From 2013 to 2017.
Oh my God, I was about to say that's like
2013, 2017?
It's like 2.5 a year. I thought it was in a year. But even though that's...
Well, it's 800 in about 4 years. So if you think
That's about one every
52. There's 52 weeks in each year.
364 days.
Yeah. So there was 800 in a matter of 4 years. So that means like almost one a week, somewhere on there.
I think twice a week. That's like twice a week.
Yeah, of reported cases.
Yeah, and Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Before that period, Lackland Air Force Base, part of the Joint Base San Antonio, saw 62 cadets allege that more than 30 training instructors had sexually abused them in some way. The actual figures are likely much higher given that most sexual abuse cases go unreported in the U.S. Armed Forces, with media reporting in 2014 that only 3,300 reports were filed out of a total of 2,600 reported instances of unwanted sexual conduct or sexual abuse that year.
So this is sexual assault that's happening to military personnel.
Yeah, adults.
Adults. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was at the fort, and that's one of the bases, military bases, where these children are being held in San Antonio, Texas. That's just.
Yeah, that's
We'll get into what we think about this at the end, but we're gonna get into the next one. So go ahead and pull up.
yeah. Wait,
what's
no,
going
real quick
on.
though. But you just said, like, you just read that it's rampant with sexual abuse to military personnel.
Yeah, this.
But at the beginning, you said the Pentagon did a study, and that specific military base, what was the name of it?
San Antonio.
Fort San Antonio.
Yeah.
Was one of the highest on their internet network for
Well, go back to the first.
yeah, you
The
said
first one you read? No, they were talking about the Pentagon did a study saying that the in the United States, I think as a whole, the military network is in the top, like I think it's like the top 5 of child pornography. So the child pornography searches. So they have they rank in like the top for child pornography.
Want me to read it again?
yeah.
Just
US
the part, yeah.
The U.S. military's computer network has consistently ranked among the top internet service providers for the trafficking of child pornography.
So that means that they're looking up kiddie porn the most in the country on the military servers,
Yeah.
through countrywide, and these are the people who are in charge of watching these children, unaccompanied minors.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's go on to Fort Bliss.
Okay. One of the claims involved the wife of a soldier under Hughes' charge, who was raped by Hughes in her own house after he got her husband so drunk that he passed out. That particular accusation against Hughes was investigated, but Hughes was not prosecuted and instead had a general officer memorandum of reprimand added to his personal file. The victim later told the Army Times that, "I was told CID, the Army's Criminal Investigative Division, had enough evidence to believe it happened, and Fort Bliss still didn't do anything. They just told the command, said this is what it was, excuse me, this is what it was, and this is how it is." After gaining custody of his teen daughter, Hughes violently raped his then girlfriend and cut her with a broken bottle. He then moved to Fort Dix in New Jersey. Fort Bliss leadership had shockingly allowed Hughes to bring a minor on base to live with him, despite his history of violent sexual assaults. In March 2020, he drugged and raped his daughter, later pleading guilty to the sexual abuse and assault of a child.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Unlike the leadership of Fort Bliss, the leadership at Fort Dix took action against Hughes and prevented him from preying on others. The inaction at Fort Bliss led to the horrific assault on Hughes' teenage daughter. Yeah.
Bro, fuck that. That fool, is he locked up? He deserves everything that's happening to him.
I think it was as soon as he went to the fort in New Jersey, Fort Dix, they finally
Put a stop to it.
Yeah, prosecuted him, because when he was at Fort Bliss, he was basically they were saying stuff like, "Oh, it is what it is." Like whenever he was getting
Bro,
accusations against him.
everybody that turned that blind eye deserves to be prosecuted too and locked up. Fuck that. This motherfucker progressed from beating his wife and raping her, or
His girlfriend.
or his
yeah.
girlfriend.
No, I think he raped one of his subordinates' wives.
Okay, getting her husband so drunk he passed out, raped her, then raped his girlfriend and cut her with a bottle,
Yeah, I was cutting her with broken bottles.
and then progressed to fucking raping his own daughter.
His own daughter, yes. And they turned a blind eye to all this and they allowed this to happen.
He
This
deserves.
is,
He
this
deserves
is the
what
leadership.
he gets.
This is the leadership that's in charge of these minors, by the way.
Bro, he deserves to be castrated. As a matter of fact.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, keep going. It's irritating.
So now we're gonna get on to the last military base, which is located in California.
All right. So, according to reports from Camp Roberts itself, raw sewage can be seen routinely bubbling up from some of the buildings at the base, while others lack reliable heat or air conditioning. In 2011, conditions were so bad that Sergeant Dustin Shepard, the non-commissioned officer in charge of camp operations, told his superiors in an email that he was completely disgusted with the lack of soldier care. That stemmed from decades of deferred maintenance and neglect, according to an investigation published by the Sacramento Bee.
So, the worst thing about the California base is that it's unsanitary. Which I'm not saying is
So basically the Camp Roberts is concerning because these children are kept outside in tents, and it is said to have raw sewage coming out from the ground. Also, there's a mice problem with rats as well, and there's supposedly some kind of disease popping up because of the rodents.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I didn't mean that as like
For sure. And also
but we go from sexual abuse and sexual assault being rampant in these Texas sites to California. It just seems at least like that's their worst problem. Seems fixable.
Seems more fixable, but still, it's like, why would you put these? The thing is the question is, why was this place chosen
to house
in the first place?
children?
We don't have better facilities for this. We don't have better military bases, especially in California.
No, I agree. I guess I just wanted to point
It's
out.
almost like they're doing this on purpose.
Yeah, no, I agree. I guess I just wanted to point out that California.
But you bring up a good point because I forgot we wanted to focus on the sexual part of Texas, but also the Texas bases have also I guess have housed a lot of hazardous materials over the years. So they actually have a lot of like cancer causing compounds on their bases as well. And also the sexual assaults. So
California is better than Texas is all I wanted to point out.
yeah. So it's like a double whammy in Texas. But you don't know, there could be some sexual stuff going on in California too. That's just not what they're known for.
Yeah, I guess. But
Fort Bliss and San Antonio are literally like the most like rampant.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into it then. Let's come back to the California base and let's talk about the forts in Texas.
Yeah, first of all, we just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because the media, mainstream media, is not covering this. They would have covered this if Trump was in office, of course, but because Biden's in office, they're not covering this, and I feel like people need to know this because people don't know about this.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Also, it's terrible. It's atrocity, honestly. It's atrocity happening on American soil. It doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat. At the end of the day, we're all human. Like, you should know, like, these are children.
Yeah.
And I know their excuses is that, we're trying to find their families, but some of these children know where their families are and they're still being kept there. And there's even cases being reported where these kids are getting lost. Like, where are they getting lost? Like, what's going on? Why are these kids being held here? Why are some of them getting lost? Like, what's like, you know what I'm saying? And this is the U.S. military. And I know people are be like, oh, it's conspiracy. It's not. It's our own government. It's not even just like, oh, it's the president or this. It's everybody. Like, everybody's involved at this level.
Yeah, no, and it's not a conspiracy that this is facts that children, unsupervised children, meaning they have no parent guardianship there to protect them, to speak for them, to do anything for them, are being held at camps that are known for rampant sexual assault. That's inexcusable.
Straight up.
Like, to your point, and then you go down the rabbit hole of what's happening there. Why are children disappearing? Like, that's unacceptable. I mean, if you touch children, if there's sexual abuse going on with the military personnel abusing the children there, which I'm sure they probably are because who's reporting it, who has eyes on them, no one. Doesn't seem like anyone gives a fuck.
They're not allowing, I think on the bases in Texas, they're not allowing even soldiers to bring, they're not allowing anyone to photograph anything that's going on there.
Exactly. So they're silencing their own people. On top of that, even when people have spoke out in the past, what it is. There's no one there that fucking cares.
Yeah, there's no accountability.
No accountability. Like, so
the leaders are already have a track record for sexual misconduct, and then also when they get caught, they're just like, oh, it is what it is. Oh, they just basically don't do anything about it.
Yeah, and
So what do you think is happening at these facilities
exactly.
right now?
So why would anyone think that would stop with, oh, well, they're only abusing the adults, they're only abusing the military personnel? You know shit's going on with the kids.
Yeah, they're
And
even
that's
more
fucking
vulnerable.
sick. They're
And
vulnerable.
and there's more and more kids going there every day. There's projected to be like thousands more by this time next year.
Exactly. So to your
And
point
these
is, why are
bases.
they being kept there? And why is no one reporting on it? Because what? Because the only reason someone would report on it was to slander our previous president? Like, people are fucking disgusting.
It's disgusting and needs to end. That's why we're bringing it up to people's attention.
Yeah, no, people need to know about this. You need to care about this. If you are watching this and you don't know, you need to go research and find out about this type of stuff happening, because it's happening in your backyard, especially if you live in Texas near these bases. It's happening right around the corner from you. And just because they're not your children, they're children. They're someone's child. And if you as a parent don't feel sickened and disgusted by the conditions that these kids are living in, both in the unsanitary and the condition about being around sexual predators, doesn't make you irate, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you. You are a despicable human being, because that's someone's kid. Doesn't matter if they're migrant. Doesn't care how you feel about immigrants or people trying to come over here. You want to be racist. You want to be ignorant. Fine. But these children didn't do anything to deserve this. Children don't decide their fate in these circumstances.
And what you need to realize too, and I know a lot of people don't know this because the American public is ignorant, but a lot of these migrants came because of U.S. Basically like U.S. like directly from U.S. causes. Like a lot of these kids are from like Honduras, from like Central America, and the U.S. has staged coups in the past to where they got rid of their political leaders and caused refugee movements into our area.
Guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, we did that directly. So that we're literally causing all these migrant movements ourselves, and then we're over here putting them in detention facilities.
Yeah, well, we're creating political and civil unrest in these countries, and then where else are they going to go? It's too dangerous to even live there, so they'd rather make the dangerous trek to America to try to find a better future, and that's the reason they're coming here.
Exactly. The whole thing's just sick. We don't even like talking about this stuff, but it needs to be brought to people's attention.
Yeah, we'd be doing more of a disservice if just because it was a hard topic to talk about or to stomach at all. We need to get it out there, and people need to know more about this stuff. And like you said, Whitney Webb, like, kudos to her for being one of the brave reporters to actually write something about it and at least put it out there for people to see and read. Like, people need to be confronted by these truths.
For sure.
And that's why we wanted to talk about this today, because to Manny's point, like, it's just unacceptable that people are living like this, let alone children, and the fact that people are okay being ignorant to the fact that, like, there is rampant sexual abuse and
it's not everybody's fault, because like I said, the mainstream media isn't going to cover this.
Yeah, I'm not saying, obviously it's no one's individual fault. I'm not placing blame at any specific individual, but it's just frustrating.
No, for sure.
And so, like, obviously, like, we may not have the power to do something, but I feel like someone out there does, and people need to talk about it, because if people talk about it rather than ignore it, or you need to share it, because other people, yeah, it may not be their fault that they don't know about it, but it's our opportunity.
Just talking about it alone and just raising awareness. I mean, the military. I'm not saying that like the military is run by who it's run by, but regular people are in the military as well. So even like you may reach out to someone, they might have a cousin who actually works in Texas, maybe not at that base, but another base. They might know someone who actually works at that base, and they'd be like, hey dude, I heard that this is happening at the base. Like, just raising awareness is doing something.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly.
not necessarily, you don't have to go down there and start knocking doors down and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why we want to use this platform to talk about it and bring it to anyone's ears. Like even if we have six viewers, I say that all the time, like, at least 6 more people know about what's going on, and we can at least get it out there.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, these are children. They deserve better. But it's also just it's just also concerning, like, what's going on with these kids getting lost.
Yeah.
Like, are they just getting trafficked? Like, what's going on with them?
Yeah, what do you mean lost? Can you elaborate a little? I don't know what you mean by that.
Like, somewhere in the article, can you pull up the article again? Go ahead, say something. I'm gonna look exactly in the article where it says that.
Yeah, no, I'm just I'm just actually in awe. I really don't know what to say. Actually, some of this information I kind of knew about, like just like the migrant camps and stuff, but a lot of this information that we're reading, I did not know, and so it's just disgusting. I mean, let me just finish my rant then about that fucking officer that raped his daughter. Fuck that guy. Fuck you. I hope you can see this in prison, you fucking piece of shit. I hope someone fucking makes you their bitch.
Oh yeah, here, let me say his name again, so if anybody knows anybody in prison with him.
Yeah, what's his name?
His name, one second.
I hope he's getting what he deserves. That's just one thing I can't fuck with.
Sergeant Randall Hughes.
Fuck you, Sergeant Randall Hughes. That's just one thing I can't put up with, bro. Go to jail for numerous things, robbing, stealing, whatever the fuck. To each their own. People have different lifestyles. People trying to survive. But nothing could justify you touching a kid, raping a child, even raping a human adult. Just raping anyone, sexually abusing them. Like, all that is inexcusable. There's no reason for that. So, those type of human beings just make me sick, and they need to be fucking executed, to be honest. There's no curing people like that. It's a fucking sickness.
I can't find that part. The article's too long
It's fine.
for me to go through everything right now, but at the end of the day, you know what it is. This is supposed to be America. Stuff like this isn't supposed to be happening. We need to do better.
And everyone knows it's not a fucking like, it's nothing new that when kids are involved in anything, it just becomes that more heinous.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like, we don't need to be holding them. Send them back.
No, I get that, and I completely agree. But if we are gonna at least hold them, I mean, they're here. I mean, what's worse? I guess
know if you are gonna hold them, let's hold them like let's hold them like they're people, not like animals outside.
That's what I was about to say. Is yes, I mean, what's worse? Just throwing them back over the border or shipping them back to a place they had know nothing about. Like, so if I get, maybe there's a reason why we do hold them, but to your point, let's hold them a little more humanely in conditions that are humane for anybody. They're not prisoners. They didn't do anything wrong. I mean, we don't even hold murderers like that. They're in fucking nice fucking, at least, cells that have at least a bed that doesn't have shit coming out everywhere, where they have concerns about getting cancer, being fucking left to sleep outside in fucking tents. If we don't even treat fucking murderers, or this fucking asshole who raped his daughter, he's probably living in better conditions than these kids are. If we don't fucking even make them fucking live in fucking shit and with mice fucking crawling around them, why are we allowing this? Why is this happening to kids? Let alone, like, just because they're migrant, just because they don't belong in this country. So what the fuck? They're human beings.
Yeah, for sure, I agree.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just a little pissed off right now.
Yeah, definitely a serious subject. We just wanted to bring it up to everybody's attention.
Yeah, I usually don't get this serious, but
if it reached out to anybody who can do some, or if anybody starts a petition or anything, we're down for it. I'm down for it.
Yeah, let us know what we can do. I mean, there's someone out there. I don't know shit about shit, honestly. Like, but if there's something we can do, sign a petition. Like, we're down. You got 3 signatures right here. If someone has the power to get someone to raise more awareness about this, or who has a bigger platform than us, spread the word. Spread the word. That's the best thing you can do. Education and awareness.
For sure. Well, that basically goes. That's everything we have to say about that. Hopefully, we can report that these bases will be taken down sometime in the near future, or at least they get moved to cleaner facilities or something.
Yeah, we can only hope. All right, y'all. Thank you for sticking with us today. Sorry to throw that in your guys' laps, but like we said, we got to face it. We got to internalize it, and we got to do something about it. Y'all have a nice day.